Hey guys, welcome to a recap of the Real Housewives of New York. Episode 4, the most Brynnteresting girl in the room. And yep, this episode is about our girl Brynn, which I feel is very appropriate because we don't know her too much and we don't know these ladies. So let's get into a little bit more about them to see pretty much why they were selected to be on the Real Housewives of New York. Because, this is the whole reboot. So we don't know none of these ladies. We know a little bit about them, but not into their personal lives, and we're here to get personal. So let's get into this episode. So we wrap up the girls' trip, and we pretty much get to see Erin be so relieved, super happy to be over and through with it. She finally makes on the last day shashuka, which I was nervous and scared to see how the ladies would take to this dish, but good for her. The ladies love it. We got to see Jenna prepare and help her prepare shashuka in her Tiffany jewelry, her $500,000 Tiffany jewelry, girl. To feel like that is nothing is the level I strive to be at. So we also get to see Uba, and she is using this moment to promote her hot sauce. So I'm so curious and wondering what's it taste like. So I'm like, girl, use your moment. This is what you're here to do. You don't come here to play. I feel like immediately once a housewife is being drafted to this whole situation, you better use it for the most that you can get out of it. So that is perfect. So the ladies, they are living their real housewives fantasy. And I'm wondering, okay, what's next? We have our first mini girls trip in the books for the ladies. So what is next? What else is going on? So the ladies, they start talking about their plans for Thanksgiving. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, it is August, it is fall. So I'm pretty much there and living this moment with them. Because I was thinking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They were celebrating Christmas. So I felt like, okay, wait, Christmas is quite far away. We have to have our pumpkin season. So I feel like it's appropriate that these ladies, the Real Housewives of New York, they're going through Thanksgiving. So everyone is sharing their plans, and it's kind of sad to hear that Bryn is not too excited. Her plans include spending time with her ex-fiance, and I'm like, "Really? That is so interesting. I would not have expected that to be a response from one of the ladies. But, Bryn, she opens up a bit and she shares that, her upbringing was not the best. She was raised by her grandmother, who actually was the one to legally adopt her. And so, her reflecting on her childhood, it seemed as though it wasn't the best situation, ideal situation for a child. Her brother and sister were raised by the grandmother, and the parents were just not fit, not suited to care for children. So present time, Bryn, she is still not as close to her family. They're not as close, period. So I can see that she's starting to get emotional, very vulnerable, and she's opening up to the ladies. So during times like these, I'm like looking at the situation. I'm like, wow, it's good that she has a good friend group to have support, because it's very clear, especially during the holidays, that she's looking for some sort of stability, some sort of love. So for her to go and spend time with her ex-fiance, that's new. I never heard of that one. And it goes to show that she's on good terms with her exes. So ooh, I'm so curious. I'm so nosy, and I want to know more about that situation. I hope she does open up. So, obviously, ladies are going to be supportive and they hear out Bryn and let her have her moment. And that's it. The Hampton trip is complete. The girls got to get out of Erin's house in the Hamptons because she is tired of hosting. It was definitely not easy for her. She had to do a lot of pleasing. But even after this girls' trip, she doesn't go and take a break. She goes right into her work, and we get to see a scene of her in her career, which is as a decorator and as a property flipper. So we see her in her moment, making decisions on design, and I think that's pretty cool, pretty amazing. Her upbringing completely different from Bryn. Her upbringing, her mother and her father were both in real estate, so naturally she fell right into that. Her specialty she's getting into is more of design and decoration and working on the construction aspect of it. I did really like her business name. I thought that's a perfect name to call it Homegirl. So I thought that was pretty cool and pretty innovative. So that's interesting. We get to see that side of Erin outside this group and what she can bring to the table. Because I know for us as viewers, we can always see the ladies as a group, but their individual scene kind of shows if there's some sort of interesting thing about them to kind of show what makes them quirk. So it was good to see Erin outside the group in her element. And I hope to see what else more that she comes to offer. Because I know for us, we live to see people's properties. You know, it comes with seeing maybe a celebrity's home. So it may have a lot of ties and connections that we could possibly see in the future. So that's going to be interesting to keep an eye out. Now, we move on to Jessel, and I'm waiting for Jessel to have her moment. She did have a little situation. I mean, her opening up about the popsicle in the girls' trip was a situation, but I felt like that was a one-time situation. I wonder if she offers more stories about her personal life that we will get to know that she opens up about. But right now, she's making the storyline about her and her husband not having sex, not being intimate, and I'm like, girl, these two, her and her husband are talking about not having sex, but I'm like, guys, just do the situation, and that's it, okay? I do not want her to continue to flesh out this story because are we going to be in the room when we see things pop off? No. So I don't want this to be the focus of Jessel and what she brings to the table. I want to know she is in design similar to Jenna. She's in the fashion industry. So I kind of want to know more about what does Jessel do in her career? What's her day-to-day like? Let's see her interaction with the kids. But I don't think you should just beat the dead horse about this situation with you and your husband not having sex if we're not gonna see. If we're not gonna see, I don't want to know. Okay, unless we're gonna have an awkward scene, which is historical for the Real Housewives. So that would be a moment. But I don't know if Jessel gives that kind of energy. She seems a little bit shy, but who knows? She does come with surprises. So moving on, we get to see our girl Brynn, this season's diamond, in her salon getting her hair done. Not her salon, she's in a salon getting her hair done. And it's a symbolic moment because she is using this opportunity to open up more to us as the viewers. So she is sharing with her hairstylist how, coming to the hair salon was a very important, crucial moment for her when she was younger. Remind you, Bryn was raised by her grandmother, who is white, and I did not know this, she is part black. Her father is black. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm excited to learn more about Bryn because I didn't know she's a sister like me. Like, we're sisters now. Oh my God. She's in the family, y'all. So Bryn is opening up and said pretty saying much that she didn't know much about black culture, her community that she belongs into as well, because she was raised in an all-white community. I mean, in Indiana, what's the population of black people that's going to be there? I'm pretty sure it's quite small, aside uh, for Bryn and her brother and sister. Okay. So she opens up and says how crucial the salon has been for her and that it was her moment that, on the weekend that she will go once a week to really learn about black culture, which I think is beautiful. And she was able to connect to her culture as, she wasn't raised by her father or have met his family. Okay. So I thought this was a great moment for, Bryn. She continues to be vulnerable and we're learning little bits and pieces about her. Now, let's move on and over to Uba. We do get to know a little bit about Uba this episode. Not too much, but a little bit, just enough. So Uba is in her home. We get to see her space, her living situation, and she has her business partner slash slash friend who is over to talk about business. They're business planning and where to take the brand. So Auba is a little bit hesitant to bring on investors into her brands into her company. And she just feels like she doesn't want to give up control if she's making the right decision. She's going back and forth on what to do, what to make, what's the right decision to make. And she reflects that in times like these, it was amazing when she had her mother there as support to give her advice, to root her on. And I felt for her in that moment, but fortunately for her, her friend, her consultant, is there to reassure her that, she was raised by a strong woman, and, Uba is capable of making these decisions, that she should just continue to be a boss. So I am looking forward to see Uba more in her element business wise. This may be the next big thing. Maybe she'll take over the hot sauce industry, or what else she can take. Maybe she's going to take us to Flavor Town, y'all. So I am so happy that we're, in the beginning, it seems like, maybe, with Uber's brand. But I know, ever since Bethany, the Bravo wants to take a cut of the whole situation, especially when you're pushing it on the show. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how that dynamic goes. But I'm curious. Maybe I should do a taste test on Uber's product to see what it give. I'm so curious. She said hot sauce, so that's a good little excuse to eat something fried, something tasty. So we'll see. Stay tuned. If you want to see that, let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll definitely get onto it. So now we are over at Size, and we are in Size kitchen. I'm looking around, taking notes, and I'm like, I would love to cook in Size kitchen. I would love to cook in Size kitchen. I love her brownstone home. It is gorgeous. So she's in her kitchen doing kitchen things, and she FaceTimes Bryn, and she is a supportive friend. She's actually a really good friend. She says to Bryn that, hey, we should do a Bryn's giving. How you feel about that? And Bryn is over the moon excited for this moment. She, of course, agrees and is on board for Bryn's giving. So I'm excited. And we get to move on further to a new situation. So we were moving past the girls' trip, and now we're over planning doing Bryn's giving. So I didn't think Bryn's giving was going to happen so quickly, but it seemed to happen the next day, because the next scene, it's Bryn's giving, y'all. It's Bryn's giving, okay? So next, we got to see Bryn's giving give. And of course, our girl Bryn is first to arrive to her party. She's not late. She's on time. Last time she was late, now she's on time. So I don't know if Bryn's a late girl, or if she's the early bird gets the worm kind of girl, but possibly, because this is her moment, she wants to make sure she's there for every moment, every bit of it. And it's exciting and sad at the same time, because the undertone to why we're having Bryn's giving is, to give support to Bryn. But I'm also excited for her because she's living that moment. So Bryn, of course, is the first to arrive. She's looking super hot, super chic. And, she's already on 10. She is flirting with everybody in the room, including me. I feel like she's flirting with me, y'all. How many of you guys feel like Bryn is flirting with you, okay? Because I feel like she's into me. She's into this moment, okay? So now, she does not play when it comes to her home. She is enforcing the no shoe policy. So she immediately tells Bryn, you put your shoes in the closet and come right in. So I agree with this. Everyone has their house rules. Is it inconvenient to take off your shoes when you're entering someone's home? Yeah, because I don't necessarily want to have my feet on the ground. And, to take down the heel, usually you have your man put on your shoes for you. Now to do that in someone else's home, and then think when you have to leave, half drunk, try to fix your shoes again to leave, like, that's a lot. But I understand. So of course, Bryn, she has no issues with this policy, and all the ladies who are coming in, they have no issues with the policy. But as everyone is coming in, I thought it was super hilarious that Bryn was doing the greeting. Like, she was being super cheeky, posing her butt out, saying, "Hi, welcome to Bryn's giving." Like, I just live for Bryn. But when we got to Erin wanted to act all confused. She wanted to act all confused. She's like, "Take off my shoes." And Sai had to clarify, you read the invite. you saw the invite. If you didn't want to follow those rules, do not show up to this home. This home is a no shoe zone, okay? And so we had to watch Miss Erin take off her shoes, have this little moment. I'm waiting to see if her feet is not manicured or maybe she has a hole in her sock, but she was fine. It was okay. Wasn't a stylish little sock, but it was matching, I believe. So everyone's here at the party and everyone is looking good. Jenna Lyons is such a vibe. She's giving us body yaddy yaddy, okay? She is dressed to the gods, okay? So now, anyways, everyone is sitting down, getting ready to eat, and Sai has prepared us. She let us know that she is about to feed the ladies. She actually has food, unlike some people. So everyone's getting settled in, sitting at the table, and then Aaron brings up to Bryn to ask, "How are you doing? Are you good?" And we all know why she's asking that because we know what's the undertone of having Bryn's giving. Now, Bryn, I wouldn't. Ooh, I felt so bad for her. She was so like her face was ooh, immediately going from happy to sad, and my heart broke. And she was hesitant to opening up, but then she does, which I respect because she didn't have to. She didn't have to say her business to anybody. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to. Clearly, these other housewives do not open up. She doesn't have to, but she is going to because she's amazing. And so she opens up and shares about her childhood, and she brings up that there was a lot of neglect and abuse. And that broke my heart because I hate to hear neglect and abuse, particularly with kids. I do not want to hear it. I do not. It's just so sad and so irking to it's for someone to be so vulnerable that you went through such a predicament. So obviously the Bryn that we see today, which is super bright, super beautiful, is one way, but to hear how she grew up, to hear that things were at such a low, it makes you have a lot of respect for her, to see that she is still able to continue to be happy, to be positive, to be uplifting towards her friends. And you see how important it is for her to have a friend group, to have some sort of family, because she wants that. She wants that. So now everyone is crying as she is sharing her childhood experiences. And I'm here in this moment, like thinking, oh my God, I hope this turns into a positive because the whole point is to be there for Bryn. Yes, they can reflect on, her childhood, but I'm hoping that they're there to start the party, get it going. I want her to have good vibes at this party, y'all. So everyone is crying. I'm like watching, like, oh my God. It's hard for me to watch people cry. I can't. I can't. Let me know if you guys feel the same way. But we get our first to be continued moment. And I'm like, oh, child, Aaron, why? Why? But let's see how this turns around. Knowing Bryn from what we've seen so far, she seems not to be one to let things keep her down. Like I could tell already. She's about to tell a joke, move it on and move it forward. And Sai is gonna keep it moving, keep it pushing. Uba is gonna break the ice and say something hilarious from left field. Jessel, I don't know what Jessel gonna give. Jessel gonna, I don't know. I don't know what Jessel gonna give. And Erin probably, she's gonna be comforting towards Bryn later at the in the dinner invite at the dinner situation. So I know these ladies, they have the purest heart for Bryn because it seems like they're such a good friend group and it feels real. So I'm invested. I want to know more. I want to see more. So guys, stay tuned. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you for taking the time to listen to my recap. And as always, share as much kindness as possible. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.